I learned a lot in kindergarten. The colors of the rainbow, how to cut out different shapes with scissors, how to put things in ABC order, and that I have superpowers. Thanks to my newfound powers, I entered elementary school with a lot of new friends, a sense of confidence and purpose, and a long word from my pediatrician that I couldn't remember or pronounce. But I wasn't worried about that. After all, what can go wrong when you're the coolest kid in class? Literally. A lot, and surprisingly quickly, I realized on the first day of school, as my very concerned teacher tried to comfort away the sweat she'd mistaken for tears. And things only got more challenging from there. As it turns out, minute math worksheets take a lot more than a minute when your paper's soaking wet. It's difficult to win at Heads Up 7-Up when your hands are one of a kind. And don't even get me started on the monkey bars. Even coloring proved tough on a waterlogged page. But though my papers may have been dampened, my spirit was not, and with a little creativity and a whole lot of trial and error, I eventually found a way around each hurdle. Minute math was possible with the help of pointillism. During games of Heads Up 7-Up, I found that my elbows could stand in for my fingers. Even the perfect picture was attainable at the cost of my sleeves and some towels. The monkey bars still proved elusive, but that didn't really matter. It turned out a passing grade in PE was based on effort, not success. After navigating so many unanticipated obstacles, I was ready to relax and enjoy the finer things in elementary school, like story time and lunch. Little did I know that the most difficult test of all was still on the way. It arrived while I was doing math. It came in the form of my closest friends in class, speaking in hushed tones at my desk and almost jumping up and down with excitement. Our teacher had stepped out of the classroom to deal with a maintenance issue, and she'd left behind her answer key, open to the page with all the solutions our math worksheets required. An opportunity like that doesn't come along every day, and my friends wanted me to join them in taking advantage of it. Looking back, it wasn't really that big of a deal, but in the moment, it felt like the greatest challenge I'd ever faced. The decision that would define whether I was just a kid with powers or a genuine superhero. I knew I shouldn't peek at the answer key, but how could I say no to my friend's generous offer? Over and over and over, it turned out, until they finally deemed me a lost cause and took off to enjoy their treasure. For a few minutes anyway, until our teacher came in and caught them browsing the forbidden book. I let out a sigh of relief, at that moment fully convinced I had made the right choice. Then the recess bell rang, and I wasn't so sure. As I stepped out into the sunlight that warm afternoon, the playground seemed much bigger than it ever had before. My friends may have been the ones getting a stern talking to in the principal's office, but I felt like we were all being punished. What was I supposed to do all by myself for 20 minutes? I don't know what drew me to the top of the play structure. Perhaps my subconscious reasoned that a high vantage point might allow me to spot some companions. Maybe some benevolent cosmic force wanted to reward me for my honesty. Or maybe climbing was simply the first thing I could figure out to do. Whatever the reason, it must have been meant to be, because that's where I met my best friend. I learned a lot in elementary school. How to think outside the box, how to persevere through a problem, that elementary school was tougher than I thought, but so am I. And, most importantly of all, that doing the right thing is always rewarded in the end. Oh, and I also finally learned how to do the monkey bars. Turns out, some things just take two.